Hello there, this is Keidras. Some of you may know me better as Uncle Steve. I am with the Imperial Vanguard and Dragamon Vanguard, and I want to give you a first look today at Tera. This video is mostly going to be for Imperial Vanguard members and Dragamon Vanguard members, which can be found at vanguardgaming.com. And I just want to give you some initial impressions and give you some additional information. Right now what you're seeing is the select server screen. Basilisk Crag has been selected as the current RP PvP server unofficially. There is no official RP PvP server as of yet. If there is, Enmass is allowing for server transfers for free until the server population stabilizes. So if they come up with an RP PvP server, a good majority of us will probably transfer to those. Celestial Hills is the only role-playing server which does have enforced naming conventions and harassment policies. However, like I said, we'll be playing on Basilisk Crag for the most part as of now. Unfortunately, at the moment, the server is available. All three of the previous PvP servers are down. Alright, so some of the servers are up, but some are not. So I'll show you guys making a new character real quick. So we'll make a new character. Some awesome graphics. Alright, so here we have the character select screen. This game is made by the same guys that did Aeon. And it's similar graphic style, not as many options as far as the customization goes. Every race has special abilities, things like, you know, faster crafting speed or teleport to their hometown or things like that. You have a human, the Castanic, which this is what I ended up making. The Amon. The Porpuri, which are like little animal-looking dudes. The Ellen, which are like little bunny girls or cat people. The Baraka, which are gigantic. And little known fact, the least played class in the closed beta was the Baraka Archer, and the High Elves. I like the Castanic, so I'm going to make one of those again. Select class. Then there's several different classes you can choose from, and it kind of gives you the ranking from hardest to play to what they think is easiest to play. The Warrior has two swords, is an evasive tank class or sustained DPS for melee. They are very fast play. They have a lot of AoE attacks, and they're very good AoE tanks. The Lancer is the go-to tank. They have a shield and a lance. You block with your shield, and as you're blocking, you take damage that drains mana from you. These are probably going to be the classes that get groups all the time. Originally, I was going to play a Lancer, but a lot of their attacks are simply straight. They don't really have a lot of AoE attacks or slashes. They're all straight in front of you pretty much, with a few that aren't, and some charges. But they're mainly for defending against monsters. The Slayer is a DPS class with a large two-handed sword. The Berserker is another DPS class with a large axe, and these guys, they block with the axe, but they're not tanks, whereas the Slayer, they roll. You have a Sorcerer, which is your long-range damage dealer. Your Archer, which is actually more medium range. They don't have, they do have some long-range stuff, but Archers do more damage the closer they are to the target. You have a Priest. Priests heal by pretty much putting spells on the ground. And then you have a mystic, which pretty much they drop orbs that can heal, and you can go by and pick them up. We're going to try out a priest for a little bit. I eventually end up going with a warrior. But for this demonstration, let's go ahead and do a priest. Because I haven't really played a priest yet. So in the customization, you have a few presets. And you can do random. Oh, that's horrible looking. Then you can change the hairstyle and the horn style, or a few other things. I like that. You can change pretty much this makeup on the face. That's also their ears. Oh, it's like emo. As well as the color. It's skin color. Let's see. I'll make her a little tan. Adornments are usually things like makeups or earrings. And then you can change the face. This is probably the most advanced customization they have. In Aeon, you could do a lot more than this. But you can change a lot of the facial structure. And it gives you some examples of different outfits for the class. That's way girly. This is definitely a game with a mature rating. So yeah, be prepared for that. Keidras. Alright. Now here's the character select screen. Right now you can have up to 8 characters on a server. When you select the character, it's going to ask you if you want to do a keyboard or a controller. It does support Xbox and PS3 controllers. I definitely prefer keyboard. And since this is our first character, it's going to take us to the prologue. You can exit the prologue and go back and start at the main island. And any future characters you make are going to have the option of skipping the prologue if you so desire. However, I highly recommend starting the prologue because you can, here's the character screen, or rather your view. Move with WAS and D, jump with spacebar. What you saw right there were some quick targeting reticles. You can hold down Q, and if you're a party leader, you can mark something with these. There you go. See? And you can hold down E for some quick actions, or text rather. But the reason I recommend playing the prologue is it starts you out at level 20 and kind of gives you an idea of how the class is going to play. Every class has a main attack on the left click. So you can see for me is kind of this orb thing. And then also a right click, which is usually a dodge or a block. That's on a 5-second cooldown. If you need to move the cursor or get off the camera view, you can click on Alt, and that's going to bring up the cursor, and we can kind of go over all these different elements. In the top left here, it shows your level and your name, your class, your hit points, your magic points you gain out of combat. This is your stamina. The higher your stamina, I do believe the more experience you get when killing things. Every time you die, this goes down, and you can spend time near a campfire to increase it. It also increases as you're out of combat. Up here, we have, this is where any buffs we have would be. The channel that we're on, these are all different instances. We can switch to channel 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just so this place isn't crowded. The name of the area you're on. This is a PvP flag. It'll tell you if you're in a PvP area. This is a kind of like looking for group tool almost. It'll tell you once you get high enough level what instances you are capable of doing. As you can see up here, this is a icon for a campfire, and then we have a quest tracker, chat, and we'll kind of go over some different items. Let's see here. Really making this quick, so if there's anything you want more clarification on, guys, go ahead and just ask me and I'll try to make another video on it, but I'm kind of going to go over as much as I can in as short of a time, mainly so I can play, because I really enjoy this game. So let's see here. You can also mouse over your abilities and it'll tell you what each one does. So at level 20, my main left attack is Divine Radiance, which does 29 damage and isn't cast. My right click is backstab with a 7-second cooldown, and then tab is to heal myself. So let's see here. Pretty neat. And let's see, abilities. Shocking Implosion, produce an electrical burst in front of you. Triple Nemesis 3, cast a vengeful pulse at a target 18 meters away. Metaphoric Blast, Fiery Escape, Purifying Circle, and Regeneration Circle, Restorative Burst, Mana Infusion. And another thing I like about doing the level 20 is it kind of gives you a good idea of how to set up your bars for new players. Right now 1 through 5 are his offensive spells, and F1 through F4 are healing spells, and then these are potions. You can also have more inventory spaces or action bars. So let's go ahead and see what all of these look like. Go ahead and Alt. Let's see, 2. Okay, that was a healing circle. So, and what you'll see is chain skills. The way that Tera's combat works, and this really helps with the controller aspect, is so I'm holding down left click and I'm casting whatever my left click item is. It doesn't have to be the default. You can change it to whatever skill you want. And you also have chain abilities. So if I go to press K to go to my skills list and click on chain skills, this is the triggering skill and this is the chain skill. So if I perform this skill, then this will pop up as an option. It'll say press spacebar to use chain skill or whatever you change it to. Here's the hotkey you can set right here. So if I cast Purifying Circle, it'll ask me to cast Regeneration Circle if it's off cooldown. You can have it display only in combat. You can change the amount of display time that you want it up. If you want to go longer than 4 seconds, that's fine, or shorter. So if we cast, close out of this. Whoops. Would that be spacebar? Escape. So we're going to cast Purifying Circle, and it's going to ask us to cast Regeneration. So we cast it, and spacebar will then cast Regenerating Circle. So that's kind of a really short overview on how the chain skills work and the combat skills work. Let's see, what else do we got in Tera? So this is your character doll. Here's your paper doll. You do have custom items that really do not affect anything. All of your items also have crystal slots. You'll be able to buy armor crystals, glove crystals, ring crystals, and these pretty much just add, it's almost like enchanting. I don't want to say enchanting, more like jewel crafting in World of Warcraft. We can also type in a status for people who inspect us. and your base stats down here. There's 3 different types of gathering. There's mining, there's plants, and then there's energy crystals, which is used for alchemy and building magical items like wands and stuff. And your instances, which this is where you can reset your instances. I've been asked that a lot recently. Costuming, if you have a costume, you can put a few different things here. I think armor costume is only available if you're a class that wears heavy armor. And reputation, I do believe, is not in effect yet. I do believe you have to have, like, reputation in WoW. So here's our skills list. Like I said, we have your chain skills. And then you have a list of your skills. These little circles are for glyphs. Almost every skill can be glyphed. There's glyphs that you can buy, and you can have them learned, and you can have ones that are active. I don't remember off the top of my head how many you can have active. I think it depends on level, but we'll look at that in the future. If we look over here, let's see, this is one of the racial abilities of the Kastanic. Pretty much it's a haste buff, an out of combat speed boost. Almost all the races, I do think all the races have this, where it increases your non-combat movement speed by 60. Dirty fighting, which increases crit chance by 1% when attacking from behind. There are no stealth classes in Tera. Weapon Forger, which increases the metallic weapons crafting. And Light Landing, which decreases falling damage by 50. You can swim in this game, but you don't go underwater. And actually, I don't think you can die from falling. So that's kind of, I don't know. But there are some large jumps. This is the quest log: story quest, zone quest, guild quest, daily quests. Your inventory, you'll get a quest to expand your inventory, and then you can buy from, there's a vendor who you can pay money. The first one's like 15 silver, then after that it's 3 gold, and just goes up each time. And to expand these slots, you don't get extra bags, but you expand your inventory space. There's also some achievements that award you with getting extra inventory space. The map menu, we have, I don't think we can do either one of those yet. Okay. And then the activities menu, here you can craft and extract. So there's weaponsmithing, armorsmithing, tailoring, alchemy, leatherworking, and focus crafting, which is things like jewel crafting. And then extraction. You can extract metals, leather, and a few other things once you learn the abilities. Extraction you learn by simply buying the recipe. There's 13 levels of extraction, so you'd buy like extraction plants 1, extraction plants 2, etc. Then that gives you the level of item that you can extract from. It's not level 1, level 2, but it's more like based on the item level. But you can learn all of the crafting professions. Just take a lot of time. There are achievements in the game. Now see if we look at general achievements. And there are also, these are titles that you can get. So if you acquired 5,000 gold, you have the title Goldfather. You can enchant. Enchanting is a little weird. You put an item in the add item to enchant, like a boot, let's say. And then you have to put another boot that is going to be consumed in over here. It'll show us an item and put it over there. And then you buy this stuff called Alchest, and you put 2 of those over here, and then you enchant it. And then the stats for the enchantable item, not all items are enchantable, I'll tell you if it can be or not, goes up by 1. And it becomes like a tree slipper +1, a tree slipper +2, tree slipper +3. And at +3, +6, and +9, they get increased enchanting abilities. So like one might say at level 3 it has plus 1.5% movement speed, and then at level 6 it has 1.3 movement speed, so for a total of 3%, and then 9 will be add 20 damage to minions or something to that effect. I'll show you some examples of those once they get the regular servers back up. Item claim is where you can claim items that you receive from a pre-order. Van Arcs. So here's a map of Tera's world, and right now we're kind of nowhere. You start at the Island of Dawn and work your way to Valika. And Van Arcs actually are voted. It's a political system. And during candidacy, a guildmaster can apply to run for a Van Arc via election. They also do tournament statuses, so PvP type things. And based on the rankings of the election, they'll be assigned an area to govern, and then pretty much NPCs will help manage that province. And they can do things like enable and disable PvP in that area. Set taxes, and a few other things. I don't quite know the full details yet. It's one of the things I'm excited to find out. But you do have to be a guild leader to participate in, well, to be elected a Van Arc. And see if we had candidates, they would show there. You can see a full list of guilds on the server. Guilds also get, you have to have 2 people to start a guild, and then they get levels, which gives them certain abilities. Most members you can have in a guild is 300 at the moment. You can praise a guild, you can apply to a guild through this, you can search through guilds. So pretty nice guild list. There's a looking for a group system. You can apply to look for a group, or you can open up the goal. I haven't really used this much to know how well it works yet. Now, deathmatch, you and a party, well, you can start a party, and you can have a deathmatch anywhere in the world with another party. So, you know, 5v5, 2v2, anybody in a group, and you guys can actually take bets and things like that on who is going to win. I think you can only vote for your team, though. I'm not sure. I haven't quite tested this out yet either. Friends, guild, etc., etc. So let's just play some basic stuff here. Let's see. Now, the questing system, I'm not too big a fan of. It's very old school WoW-ish, a lot of text. It's not as good as Star Wars story system. You press F to pretty much interact with anything, and pretty much a lot of clicking on buttons. So right now we need to go talk to these guys, get them ready for the fight. Reach the breach, the beach. Whoops. And a lot of people think that the Mystic is actually a better healer than the Priest, and it really all depends on, you know, how you're playing. I can see both have their advantages, and it really does depend on your play style as well. Little Papomin, the Quartermaster.
Can I help somehow?
Actually, while I'm over here, I'll show you some swimming, I do believe. Can I get in the water? One thing I also don't like, it is not a unrestricted environment. So here we are with swimming. We can't go down. Actually, we can go pretty far out there. But eventually, yeah, see, eventually we hit a wall. I'm definitely a big fan of the open areas, but with the graphics, I mean, just look at that. That's gorgeous. Little waterfall, some trees spinning. I wish I could get to those places, but I can't. That makes me sad. Makes me a sad panda, even though I'm not playing a panda. Alright, so let's go finish up some quests. There's a couple other things I want to show you guys, which they do throughout this quest system. So now, she gave me some gear, so we can kind of put on some gear. And here's what I was talking about. This is a magical item, and you can see that they have extra crystal sockets. Alright, so we are decked out in some more slutty clothes.
Take your jaws off the floor, boys.
Alright. Now this quest, you have to also make sure that you talk to people. Breach the breach. That you. Sometimes I was trying to click on these and forgot that you had to continue the conversation by clicking on this blue bar down here in the bottom left. And you know what? I think perhaps has my mouse turned off, so you guys can't see that. So bottom left, conversation options. And I'm gonna speed through this real quick. Really, there's only a couple things I want to show you guys. If you have questions, that is the completed quest icon up there. So if you have a turn in, that's where you can find it. Alright, time to go to the cave entrance. Number lock to run auto run. There are some jumping puzzles, I suppose. I don't know if I'd call them puzzles, but areas where you're going to need to jump. You'll actually see these platforms in some random areas that will actually allow you to, will let you know that you can jump to that area to get up where you may have fallen at. Big ol' Amani. Or not Amani. Bedrock. A lot of these splash screens are very common MMO etiquette. Like, don't be mean to your friends and things like that. They do have some tips and tricks, but a lot of them are meant to be reminders of pretty much don't be a douchebag. Alright, so here we are swimming again. And one of the cool things, oh, they added the arrow. That's new. I do like there are some areas you can see, they'll show up as ladders on your map that you can climb. I'm a big fan of this. Wish more games let you climb things. Climbing anything, like, would be awesome. I'm a big Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder fan, tabletop role-playing. Alright, so here's some dudes. Let's go fight some stuff, and then we'll go see if the other servers are up. Which way do I need to go? Oh, I need to go up the ladder. Guild versus guild is a big thing. There really aren't any factions in this game. Pretty much there's guilds, and then the guilds can declare war on other guilds by buying an item that'll only cost like 3 gold. And they fight, and guilds can also surrender if they want to. Alright, so here, let's fight. I don't know why that is glowing. And a lot of chains are set up for doing like combo attacks. That is a stun. Alright, let's let them do some damage to me. Again, this is a prologue. Shocking implosion. Oh, see, they also give you some some combos, ideas that you may not know if you didn't go through the prologue. Pretty neat. Let's do some healing for these guys. Towers off distance. Again, I'm trying to think of what else to tell you guys, but really, if there's any questions you have, let me know, and I can make a video, you know, specific towards that. If there's something you need to know how to do, or a certain class. I do have experience with the Lancer and the Archer, and I plan on playing a Warrior. I don't really have any experience with the Priest. They seem to be doing okay, though. Die! I do know there's a really hard fight up here. I'll probably get to there, and then I'll stop and go see how the servers are doing. Now, right now we're fighting a lot of single monsters. There are minion monsters, and those will be like a guy like this with a bunch of small minions around him, and they're usually pretty weak, unless there's lots of numbers. Okay, see that red dot? That usually means he's about to do a power attack and you want to dodge it. It's usually something that does a lot of damage. Oops. Alright, so we want to do 1 and then 3. I don't know what that eye icon means yet. And you also see on the mini-map there's red triangles. Yeah, see, the prologue is pretty good because it tells you stuff specific for each class. Like right now, use Purifying Circle to heal your allies quickly. So it gives you some of the basic abilities and what they're going to do for you. Like here, we are actually fighting some other classes: an archer, a berserker, a sorcerer, and a priest. These are NPCs, of course, but they kind of show you how you're gonna fight against these particular classes. Now, a lot of classes get mana back by attacking or doing certain things. And a lot of times you'll see that as on your weapon, like you gain 7 magic points every time that he attacks. And now heals 298. Oh, so, okay. So I deal damage, like such, but I think it also heals. Not really quite sure how this works yet. Let me test it on Elian. Try triple nemesis and divide radiance. 2, 4. I don't know.
It's time to take action.
So yeah, that's about it. And most of the guys are also, like I was telling Orcala, there's just as much eye candy for the ladies as there is for the gentlemen in this game. Lots of male strippers and female strippers, pretty much. And again, a very adult-orientated theme. So, but again, I have been Keidras, also known as Uncle Steve. You can follow me on Twitter at Keidras, or check out my website, doubtfulsin.com, and also my guild, vanguardgaming.com. If you have any questions, send me an email on vanguardgaming.com or a private message to Keidras, and I'll see what I can do to answer your questions. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Hooray, my server is back up. This is the loading into the character select screen. This is also what you see when you're traveling via Pegasus. Here are my characters I've made thus far. I started with Keidras, Human Warrior. I really don't like the role that they do. And I'll show you here in a minute what I mean. And Elia, my Kestonic Archer, which I just made to reserve the name. And then this is going to be my main character. This is Keidra, a Kestonic female warrior. I don't know if I'm going to be playing her as a tank or DPS yet. Originally I was going to make a Lancer tank, and I played that in the closed beta up till level 27. But then I started playing a warrior, and they're just so much damn fun, I'll tell you what. So let's go ahead and log on, and I'll show you a few things with her, what I like about her. Oh, I have not seen this screen before. They do have some really nice artwork. This, I do believe, is probably the goddess of the Ellen and the Porphyry. The Ellen are actually like 1,000-year-old spirits that take on the form of little girls. Kind of creepy to some people. I'm kind of about it. Whatever. Alright. So this is my Kestanic. And I like it because she can do flips and shit. That is my dodge. It's awesome. And then this is my main attack. You hold it down for 3 attacks. 4 attacks, rather. This is my Collector's Stallion. I also like the way that they sit on their horses. And then I have, let's see, Rain of Blows. Combat Strike, which does hit point damage to me but lowers the target defenses. Rising Fury, which is just like a double attack. And you can actually use it twice in a row. So here's once. And even though it's on cooldown, you can use it again. So here's once and twice. My number 4 ability is Vortex Slash, which I can only do after my dodge. There's a lot of abilities that you can only change after certain events, like falling down or dodging or putting your shield up. For my warrior, it's do a flip. And if I'm in combat, it'll come up as a chain attack, but since I'm not in combat, I have to hit 4. And it's my AoE. 5 is kind of like Challenging Shot. It draws aggro for me, but it also stuns enemies. And I am a level 14 warrior right now. And then I have my 2 stances right now. Defensive stance and assault stance. Defensive stance gives me more endurance, which is like health and stuff, I guess. I don't really know. I haven't looked into it. And then assault stance, which increases my crit and stuff damage, but lowers my endurance. And it does drain 10 magic points per second. So in combat, you kind of got to manage when you have these on and off. So that is kind of it for now as far as my warrior goes. I'll go do some questing. I might show you guys a few things that I find interesting, and I'll be in touch. So this is cool. This is the lion you get from the collector's edition. Very, very neat. And he also has a kitty pet. You can buy pets to do things like, I don't know if they still have stores in them or not in the closed beta. You could set up shops through your pets and they can kind of sell stuff for you. The red icon is the Ellen teleporter. She will teleport you, and there's a couple modes of different transportation. You can use scrolls that will teleport you to either the nearest safe haven, which will be these flags on them. So Lumbertown, and then other provinces will have areas that are kind of central to that area. And there's usually scrolls that, like I have scrolls for Lumbertown, and then I have scrolls for safest or nearest safest town, and then scrolls for the main area. And we also do teleportation within zones, which will take you to the other side of the area. And then you can do to go between the provinces. There's actually flying Pegasuses that you go on. So I'm going to go up to the Favine Vale camp, which is where all my quests are. It's not too expensive, but apparently I don't have any gold, so I'm going to have to run there. Fantastic. Here's one of the trainers. The melee classes have tactic instructors, and then most of the other classes have like magic instructors, and kind of share between all of them. And you learn skills, and you tend to learn skills every 2 levels, so 16, 18, 20, and there are active skills, and of course passive skills. My next passive skill is Merciless Leap. Your leaping strike deals 5 times damage against knockdown enemies. Now this is a game where you don't want to jump around a lot, because as you are jumping you have an increased chance of being knocked down and hurt a lot. I'll show you where the Pegasus guy is too here in Lumbertown. They are the circle with the wings and kind of teardrop in the center. In Lumbertown it is to the north. Oops, a little too far. This is the Flight Master. Another pretty waterfall. I do really like waterfalls. Alright, and there's a guild versus guild declared battle, and they come across the screen and let you know when guilds are going to be fighting. A character that is in a guild versus guild battle will show up as a purple name. And also here's some cry metal ore. This is mining. Pretty much you just go up to the node, press F, and you have there's a chance of failure. And it gathers. There's also plants. That's actually a quest plant, not a The mining nodes, all the gathering nodes showed up as 3 dots on the minimap. So if you look on the top right now, there's an orange, blue, and green dot. That is plentiful, means you can mine it more than one time. I don't think they're color-coded, so pretty much just to note that there is a gathering node there, but you have to actually go to it to figure out what kind of node. Alright, let me show you guys me some killing some stuff. Pretty much right now I'm just using my base attack. These guys are kind of weak towards me. And I like the warrior's base attack because it slashes. So that's pretty awesome for hitting multiple enemies. And let's see if we can find something a little more challenging. Not quite an area where there's BAMs yet. BAM stands for big ass monster, and they are big ass monsters, and they hit you really freaking hard. Sometimes you need teams to go up at them. You can solo them too, but if you got the skills. And yes, I am playing on a PvP server, so you also have to watch out for outlaws trying to gank us. Outlaws show up as red. They can be attacked by anyone, but they can also attack anyone. Now, if you're getting chased by one or ganked by one, you can switch channels. It's a pretty high process, or I'm sorry, quick process. But you can also get near a campfire, not one that a person puts out, but one that is a questing hub, and these are generally safe areas as well. You can see in the top right, my flag has now gone to the wings, which is no PvP allowed, and as soon as I walk out of that area, there is PvP enabled. Here's a, let's see, fairies are kind of weak, though there's a bunch chasing me. See there, just used a chain skill to hit as many of those guys as I could. And I got an achievement. Awesome. At the moment, it does feel like you tend to level up faster than the quests, so I am kind of out-leveling some of these quests. We also get, XP for pretty much anything you do in the game, gathering nodes, making items, as well as gathering from nodes will also give you temporary buffs. So I'll show you that in a minute. Like right now I have 3 stacks of gathering life, which heals me for 0.5% every 3 seconds. And sometimes monsters give you quests. Oh wait, no, actually it means he is part of a quest. So I need to kill this guy. I'm not doing good enough. Yeah, see, I want to dodge that. Definitely want to dodge that. I'm still not quite sure how warrior tanking works. That was my aggro gain, which stuns them for a few seconds. Now I do also do more damage from behind, which is a castanic feature. And that's what happens when you gain a level. You get these little wings and a skull. Now see, when they do their major attack, usually there's an opening after that. And sometimes they have more than one major attack. Like that guy just dived at me, and then he did a spore thing. He's gonna dive again. Oh, but I killed him. F to pretty much interact with anything, including picking up items. Let's see. Here is some sun essence, and I'm being attacked. If you're gathering and attacked, you will stop gathering. It's about to charge. Yeah. These guys are much fun. Okay, so now we'll gather some sun essence. Pogs is online. Pogs is the #1 slayer in Basilic Crack. True story, Pogs. Keep up the good work. And you can fail at gathering. Usually, plentiful stones will actually, or nodes will disappear when you fail gathering sometimes. They have a chance of doing that. Here's a guy that has a quest for me. Or as part of a, yeah, quest turn-in. You can also, one thing I like about the questing system is on the right side here we have all of our quests, and if you hit Alt you can see, you click on the quest and it will kind of tell you the source, or it might have monster types in the quest, and you can click on them and it will show you on the map where they are. And now these are active, so I should be able to go here and see a bloated spore walker. Oh, apparently those are actually spawning locations. So, I mean, they're not active, but they show you where those creatures spawn. And of course, for rares, you know, they have multiple spawning locations and cooldown timers, so they might not always be there. Now this guy he has minions. The minions don't do a lot of damage, but if you stack a lot of them up, they can really hurt. One of my tactics for these is to kind of attack one at the edge and back away to where they all kind of form in a group, which isn't working too well for me right now. And then do this. Kill. And if you get knocked down, like I did, there's a skill that makes you do damage before you get back on your feet. And I just dodge that guy's blow. I do really like the interactivity that is done in Tera's combat style. It's a lot more even though it's a hotkey based MMO. It isn't completely hotkey based. It is very active. Even the healing. And that actually would have been a good time to use rain blows. Sometimes when you kill guys, they also drop motes of like rejuvenation or healing, which you can use to heal yourself. Loot is not open. If you kill something and loot drops, you can see what dropped for other people, but you can't pick it up. I think there's a expired amount of time, and once that time goes by, other people can actually pick up that gear. Though I don't know what that length of time is quite yet. Alright, so we need to do polluted seal and vortex shard. So polluted seal from spore walkers. Now see how she's gray, that means I'm not gonna get any experience points, I think, from killing her. Yeah, or maybe very little. I got 7. Not very high. You see this guy over here, he's in a guild. He's got his icon for his guild is along his name. Oh shoot, that was dumb. One little known trick, you can also change the position of your crosshair by hitting shift and up or shift and down, like so. It also works left to right. Maybe good for you, those of you using controllers, or, you know, it doesn't actually change. Your character still does their attacks based on the location of their body. So if you're an archer and you shift all the way up, it's not like you're going to shoot farther. Let's see, I haven't fought one of these guys yet, have I? Oh, bad, get out of there. As a warrior, you do a lot of evasion tanking, so moving around. You are pretty good at holding aggro, especially if you have your defensive stance on. But not at Lance, you can really hold their shield up and just stand there and take it, and it's pretty awesome. But like I said before, I like the mobility that and the speed. And the warrior just feels amazing to play. It's so much fun. Just tearing stuff up. Didn't quite get out of there fast enough. And I have a habit of clicking the buttons, but you can just hold them down for certain skills. My F1 is my bandage. When you apply your bandage, it actually applies a hot to you, heal over time. And a lot of the questing is pretty, you know, generic MMO-ish. A lot of go here, kill this type thing, deliver this item. There are some specialty quests. There's one you get in the first area where you have to defend 7 waves. You can do it as a party, or you can do it as just yourself. There's also an instance in the first 10 levels that is really it's soloable. It's just meant to show you kind of a big ass monster, what they look like, and how instances kind of work. But it is soloable. You get a mercenary who helps heal you. And then there's also in the second area another quest that is different. All those different type quests you actually teleport to through an instance area, so there's only you and whatever the objective and your party members there. And in that quest, you're actually leading a fairy along a bridge, and you kind of have to escort her to the other side. So it's a little bit different. So far, nothing groundbreaking yet, but I am in the first level 20 area. Haven't got too far. Now I need to destroy vortex shards, which I do believe are those things. And it is important to read quest text. Destroy the vortex shards. Probably have to kill these guys and then kill the yeah, let's see here. This should be fun. Oh, these guys are like sorcerers. That is money. They have copper, silver, and gold. Yeah, then we get near it and we press F to interact with it, and this should destroy it. Looks like we're pouring something on it. Or collecting it? Who knows? Oh, yeah. That little shield break, I did my hit point sacrifice to lower his defenses. hopefully I'll show you guys some PvP here soon. Well, probably not here soon. I doubt I'll show it to you here, but yeah. Here's one of the rejuvenation modes I was talking about. So we click on that and it is going to get a buff on me that will heal me. Pretty much the ones I usually see are rejuvenation, healing, which is a flat heal, and then there's one for mana called, like, I don't know, it's something mana-ish sounding. Alright, let's see how this goes. Get out of the way! That was some boss fighting music there for the end of this quest line I'm doing. The red quests, I do believe, are major storyline quests. Oh yeah, you also get at level 11. Oh shit. Attacked by fairy. Die, fairy. An ability called Outlaw Declaration. This declares you as an outlaw, and this is how we would declare ourselves as outlaws. Let's go ahead and add a second. I'll put this over here. And this is going to let us attack anybody. But you do get infamy points, and I'm not quite sure how those work yet either. But thought I'd let you guys know. Also, I think priests, I'm not sure about mystics, can res after so long, but any character that has a scroll of resurrection can resurrect nearby dead party members. So it is very important to have a few of these with you at all time. And right now I'm going to go ahead and use a scroll, safe haven, to teleport back to Lumbertown because I am done in this area in the Fey Forest, and I'm going to be moving on to the next location for quests and maybe some PvP. Here's a player-made campfire as an item that you can put down and anyone can benefit from to gain stamina back. And these guys, let's see how they are. Purple. That is their guilds are currently in guild vs guild battle somewhere. So here I am about to go to the next location. I want to show you over there is Lumbertown. Some mountains, beautiful sky dome. I think Control U turns off the UI? No. Control Z. So pretty. Now the specs for my system aren't really that high end. I'm running Windows 7 32-bit. I have 64-bit, but I've not applied it yet. Or installed it yet, with 3 gigabytes of memory, a decent video card, an Intel 2 Duo core processor. I am building in the i3, actually an i5 system. That's going to have 8 gigabytes of RAM. I do have 4 2TB hard drives in this system, mostly for recording space. I wonder if I can go in here. Yeah. Walls. I hate walls. Invisible walls.